controversial things. And sometimes, because people are trained to have these certain associations, they automatically assume certain things about me when they hear certain things come out of my mouth. And there's certain things that I say about history and I say about the Jews that there are all, and they say the same thing, some of the same things. So it's not coming from a place of hatred. Sometimes the truth is just the truth. And when you tell the truth, people will assume certain things. And sometimes people will assume motives you don't have. They'll assume intentions that you don't have. And so I want to be clear about my intentions, really. That I wish well for everyone. I'm not a hater of humans. I'm not out here just hating one group of people or the next. But I think we need to be honest about the reality. So there's some realities where if you say certain things that are in fact true, people will automatically brandish you as an evil person or a hater. And there's problems that we'll never be able to solve if we deny that they even are there in the first place. And there's some problems. There's some forgiveness problems, for one. And because it's like, there's not a single person. And I've got black friends, they feel the same exact way. It doesn't make sense to hate white people as if they have slaves. None of us have slaves. And if you really want to be real about it, white men as a demographic are net taxpayers, and black men are not. And it comes out to about $750,000 per person, per black person, that wealth is transferred from white people to black people for housing, food, college grants, just all kinds of subsidies, right? So I was watching this channel, and this guy was talking about how much we've set black people back with slavery and how we owe reparations and all these things. And it's really absurd. And for me, it's really kind of like, I can't really claim, like, my ancestors did not fight in the American Revolution to start this country from the British. They were being oppressed by the British in Ireland, but they showed up in New York after that. And then they come down to Georgia, but they didn't own any slaves. They were farmers, tobacco farmers. And they bought land where they said you could not grow tobacco there. And they said, yeah, we can. They bought land that had woods on the edge of it. And they went out to the woods and got organic material and brought it into the soil and made it where it could grow tobacco that fetched high prices. And they were some, river hogs. They were out there floating logs down the river. But anyway, I'm just saying, no one, the Irish were pushed out of Europe. The Celtic people pushed out by the Romans, pushed out by the British into a corner, starved to extinction, and come over to America. And my family never had any slaves. But there are people who, they'll look at me and they'll see the color of my skin and they'll be like, you know what, some of your money should be taken and given to me because we was oppressed. But then I'm saying, even for the white people who do have an ancestor that owned slaves, they don't owe, no one chose their ancestors. No one said, so, and I think it's been hundreds of years. And it's time to just get over it. It really is. And I know I also think, who was ever in a concentration camp? I think the Jews need to get over it too. Get over it. I mean, obviously though, if there's somebody that's now in modern times trying to genocide you, then don't get over that. If somebody's actually oppressing you, don't get over that. But how are you going to just live your whole life feeling negative feelings about, every day being mad at somebody that didn't even do anything to you? You're just mad at them because maybe they're the children of the people who might have done something to you. It's just really ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember a controller kid, but I don't know. Is that Kane? Is that Connie? Hey, Wade. But there's already a massive wealth transfer going on, and it's not fair by population demographics. There is there is systematic discrimination against white people because they're the group of people that's not allowed to have any kind of special grant or anything. Something's got to be given for every other group. But because nothing's given to white people, because they're a majority, because it's actually discriminating against white people. And I think we need to just have a meritocracy. Be by merit. Don't add points to people's SAT. Like an Asian can get just as good of a score as a white person and not get in because so many Asians have high scores that you've got to score extra high of a score to get into an elite college as an Asian. And then if you're black, you don't even have to score as high because they need to meet those quotas. That kind of stuff needs to end. And I think as long as people are waiting for somebody to give them some reparation or give them some kind of something, that's holding them back because you're giving your power over to someone else. Someone else has to act before you act. And then people like I know a lot of people that have just handicapped themselves. They just didn't believe in themselves. They didn't even try. But there's people that just they think they've got this worldview that there's somebody out there just keeping them from being able to do something, and all this other stuff has to change. All these other people have to be controlled and get to give them money or something before they can improve their situation. And really, they're able to do it right now. And the thing where a lot of people give up is this is how improvement happens. It's like this, and then it starts to go up like this, right? And while you're having those slow incremental benefits that are going to lead up to that compounding thing, you don't notice it. So for a long time, people think nothing's getting any better when it is. And they give up too soon before they see that exponential growth. Well, I'm home now. I'm going to get off this. But you got to forgive people that ain't never done nothing to you. That's crazy. If somebody's never done nothing to you, and you're harboring a grudge against them and they ain't never even done anything to you, their ancestors may have done something to your ancestors. Even though they haven't wronged you to be owed forgiveness, because you're holding that grudge, it's hurting you. You need to forgive white people for things they didn't even do. But it's time to forgive white people, I think.